So we're back at it today. We're going to be going ahead and doing the flares on this guy. It's going to be really hot. As you can see, got me a couple waters ready to go. Since the last video, or the last time you guys probably saw it, we went ahead and finished primering, finished the wing, got that all flushed in. Rear end is all flushed. Bumper primed, rear end primed. It just looks fantastic. So next up, we're going to go ahead and start installing the flares. And honestly, you know, it's one of those things where works flares, it just really takes a lot of time. Because they have the right shape. You know, it's the little things that matter. So now I have both jacks. What I'm doing now is I'm closing it in and out, because when you do that, this bow, right? So if you want it to just be flatter, you'd have it sitting like that. You want to have it out more, push this end in, and then it'll give it more of a bow. The rear, we go ahead and make cuts for the fuel door and for the bumper itself. It's funny because Astrid was like, you're gonna have to take off the bumper, remove it so you can put the flare on. I said, nah, girl, I ain't gonna have to do nothing like that. Of course, it's off. Haha. Anyways, flare's on. It's coming right around the tire. Nice, nice. Again, in my opinion, it has a good circumference. When you look at it from this angle, has a nice bow, consistency. Look at it from the top across. This isn't protruding more than this. We'll have to make the cuts for the bumper and the fuel door, but I'm liking this, so I think we're gonna run it. All right, so now we're on the other side, gonna try this guy out. How are we looking here? All right, cool. So flares are on exactly where we want. The bumper is back on to where they need to be. But as you can see, we have like this big gap. And the reason for that is because of the bumper itself, right? So we need to make those cuts. Also a side step. It's gonna shoot out. We have this. We have the flare here. What we wanna do is kind of capture this shape right here. And then we're gonna make our cuts. So what we'll do is we'll put this on. There we go. Go on the flare, and ideally it'll be something like so.
I tell you, and it was normal. I got it.
Okay.
And then he spawned another one, and it was gold. And Mom was like, "Okay, since you got one, I can get one." And I'm like, "A gold one?" And then the other time, I got another one that was from Brazil. That he couldn't.
Not bad. Of course, we were a little, what's the word? Safe. So yeah, we were definitely a little safe when it came to our cutting. Just because I was like, I don't want to have to recreate it, but we're still going to have to regardless. You know? So we'll go ahead and let's cut some more. The flare itself, I believe, needs to come in a little more. The rear end needs to bubble just that bit more. Cut this nub, kind of bow it, but then in doing so, that means this cut's gonna have to come up just a bit. So again, whatever, you get it. Let's do it. All right, cool. So as you can see, we got that whole half moon shape cut automatically, giving some relief there. You can see it looks a lot better. So the idea is definitely push this in that way. Once it gets pushed in there, it'll give us more of that bow. Compared to it sitting flat out, we just need to go in just a hair. So we got the rear put in kind of where we're going to want it. Now that we have everything kind of hard mounted where we want to fill these gaps. So fill all these gaps. Not really necessary. I'm sure you could send it like this, but why not just have a part that just fits perfect every time you go to put it on, you know, and you're not kind of having to go around and figure it out. So we'll go ahead and take the extra time and we'll show you how we do that. All right, cool. Get to check out the rear end outside for the first time. Amazing. Oh, look at that.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're back in. Sorry if it's a lot of repetitive stuff, but again, when it comes to doing stuff like this, it's a lot of dry fit, test it, look at it, move it, test it again. But yeah, we're pretty much happy with where it's at. The same thing we did on the other side, cut it, and then hopefully that'll come out pretty close. All right, cool. So we have the passenger flare now set where we want it. Get out of the way, chair. There we go. Okay. So I have that nice arch, that bubble. Still comes down to a taper, so that way it's even. It doesn't look like it's going to be all like, you know, weird shaped, because you just want to have that consistency. Again, that's the key word, right? Consistency. So once we go ahead and put our filler in and fill in all those gaps that we're missing, so it'll take the exact shape we need there. And like in the other video, get the idea. What we're going to do next on this flare is, you see the line that I had made? So we're going to cut along that line, take that piece off so that we can raise it up. We'll splint it together, obviously cut away whatever we need to, blend it in, so then that way the flare itself will just be nice and it'll be fit for this car specific. Obviously the lower you go with your car, the higher the flare will go, and then you don't need to do any of this. But because the car has some height, yeah, the flares sit a little lower, and then we'll just compensate. So let's get to it. We're gonna wait and do that center one until after we heat up this bottom portion of the flare. So I'm gonna get the heat gun right now and just kind of blast it and get that nice and hot. And then once it's hot enough, I'll finesse it from the back, give it a little push, and then ideally it'll be good. Sorry, hand gestures. Well, you get the idea. If you don't get the idea, get the idea. Took up a lot more splints than I expected. Obviously it's having this shape right now and it's kind of going like, what? So I'm gonna grind this and then shape this so it has more of a natural shape going that way. Yeah, but overall, no, stoked with how it looks. I think it looks really good. And then obviously this will be addressed later, but right now we just want to get the overall fitment. All right.
Would y'all look at this?
Nice. Yeah, that's what we want. Cool. So now that we got both flares done, this one is set pretty much exactly where we want. The other one is set where we want. We're going to go ahead and get our hot glue gun, plug that sucker in so we get that, you know, plugged in. Going ahead, get some cardboard, cut that up for that guy. Make a template. Just going to be a nice clean curve. If you don't know how to do this, then pretty easy. As soon as we take this off, it's just going to be a little sliver that's going to be there. But I added these little helpers just because I don't want this to move. All right, so here's the flare pulled off. So we just put some tape, just kind of line that. So when we glass, it should come up semi-flat. You know, no gaps, no glass or resin falling through. Here's our little cardboard piece that we made. Put a little too much, so we just extended it out that way we needed, created that little groove, and boom, yeah, should be good. And this is a laminate side, which is nice, meaning that you can see that reflectiveness or the reflectiveness on it. So anything like that, packing tape or stuff like this, if you lay fiberglass on it, it won't stick to it. We'll still go ahead and put like a little pump of mold release wax just to be safe. I would use packing tape, put it down, and then lay my glass, and then it would come right off, or use any kind of laminate, like stuff like this, magazine covers, whatever, won't stick to it. Don't use magazine covers. So we got everything glassed up, done. That back piece is done. Got this piece. Okay, let's remove this little turd. See what it looks like. Obviously there's a little buildup or film that was left over, just the adhesiveness, so, but yeah, that's what it looks like. It's lined up. This portion here is lined up with the body now. Yep, nice, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So we got our shape. There we go. Cool. Sick. All right, cool. Everything's all set and done. All the hardware's in place. I even got the blessing from Astrid. She said, run it. So, hell yeah. Next step, I know it's like, we're almost there. Not really. So, we're gonna fill this gap. And, we'll make some cuts. We'll probably make a cut around this area so we can fill that. And then same thing here. So, I'll go ahead and start prepping that, and I'll show you guys how that goes. Yeah. Over this flare, I went ahead and make it a cut it inside because we're going to go ahead and do a quick skim just to capture this body line, but we want to have a little more, you know, a little more room to work with. So cut that up, that's ready. Grinded our area around here, so when we skim our fiberglass filler over that way. I'm going to make a template right now out of cardboard. I'm using our feeler gauge again, so got that guy. You know, that was pretty much lined up to here. All right, boom. I'm gonna put that on here, and that's done. Back over here, you can see it's already all taped up. So let me get this finished, and then I'll show you guys more. Go ahead and use which is our filler. And yeah. All right, cool. So our filler and everything is all set up. Oh shit, fuck, why would I do that?
Oh no!
So our filler is all set up. I did like just a light little layer of glass over the top. What we're gonna do is pull the flare off and then grind the buildup on the inside, which is all this filler, and then we'll glass from the inside, and then we'll smooth all this stuff out. So that's the idea for everything here. So we just want it to pop off, and hopefully it pops off and it retained a lot of this shape, and then we'll be able to glass and keep it. So filler is like our main meat that we have in the back. So like right here, we want to add some kind of strength, some kind of rigidity to the back there. Don't mind those dirty gloves. It's already sanded. We're going to put some glass behind. Got our glass right there. Just mat it in there, and then that way it gives it the little strength it needs from behind. Sand it down one more time and we'll be set. It should look just like that. Got that glassed in, got everything glassed in. As you can see, boom, 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 boom. So done. Tomorrow, get started early. We'll go ahead, trim everything up one more time. Ideally, this will be the last trim. It looks good. We can start body working it and really see what everything looks like on the cars. So hell yeah. All right, so see you guys in the morning. So we're back at it. We're gonna go ahead, finish these up today. I'm gonna go ahead, do some grinding, clean them up, and then we'll test them again. Ideally, they'll be good, and we'll be able to do our finish work and then prime them by the end of the day. Putting some tape on because I want to make sure that when I do the Bondo work and the finish work, I want to do it on the cars, so I don't want to get any on the bodies. So just putting some tape as a safe space, or just as like a backing, so if any Bondo does go over, just get on the tape, it'll come right off, no big deal, no issue. But I also want to body work it. It's a little harder to do it this way, but it's easier in the sense of body working the part on the cars, so that you know exactly what the finish is going to look like, and then you can take it off and then do whatever finish work. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. Boom. Here they are, guys. Flares are all said and done. Side profile is really good. We're gonna have a side step. The side step itself is gonna go right here. So you're not gonna see this lower portion itself, but you'll see just right up to there, and that'll go all the way across. It was a long process, but we did it. We got here, guys. We finished. Flares are all said and done. Everything's looking really good. I'm really happy with just the overall fitment. It's nice and flush, tight to the body, exactly what we were looking for. Still goes right over the wheel. Has a nice bow, has a nice shape to it. if you look from this angle over here, you can really see how it looks like it's just naturally flowing into the bumper itself. Super happy with how that looks. It's all squared away, so it's definitely not an easy job to do, but it's definitely doable. Next step is side steps. So we're gonna build that out, and that should be fun. So thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for watching. Until next time.